Here's the power of what social media does today. 23 years old, you go and find out for yourself. You're not waiting on ABC, CNN, CBS, any of these guys. You go ask questions. After asking questions yesterday, I believe was it HHS, Rob, that came out yesterday? If I'm not mistaken, they came out yesterday and they stopped $185 million of funding to Minneapolis because of the video you posted. So watch this, folks. This is a byproduct of what Nick Shirley did on December 26th. Go ahead, Rob.
Hello, I'm HHS Deputy Secretary Jim O'Neill. I'm here with Assistant Secretary Alex Adams. Alex oversees the Administration for Children and Families. Intrepid journalists have made shocking and credible allegations of extensive fraud in Minnesota's child care programs. We believe the state of Minnesota has allowed scammers and fake daycares to siphon millions of taxpayer dollars over the past decade.
My office, ACF, provides Minnesota $185 million in child care funds each year. That money should be helping 19,000 American children, including toddlers and infants. Any dollar stolen by fraudsters is stolen from those children. Yesterday, I spoke directly with the director of the Minnesota Child Care Services Office. She could not tell me with confidence whether those allegations of fraud are isolated or whether there's fraud stretching statewide.
Today, we have taken 3 direct actions against the blatant fraud that seems to be rampant in Minnesota. First, I have activated our Defend the Spend system for all ACF child care payments across America. Starting today, we require a justification, receipt, or photo evidence before we make a payment.
You can stop it right there.
Second,
so the idea is $185 million stop because you independently went out there and created this content, exposed it to everybody, and then allegedly, was it today that CNN came after you, or was it yesterday?
Yeah, today they put a hit piece out on me.
And when did they interview? When did CNN come and interview?
Yesterday.
Yesterday they did.
Yesterday I showed up at Quality Learning Center.
Is this the one?
Yes.
So this is you show up, you're in Minnesota yesterday.
Yes.
At the Quality Learning Center. We got to say it correctly. By the way, his sweater he's got on, if you guys want to purchase the sweater, we're going to put the link below as well to the Quality Learning Center. It's becoming a hot commodity. Rob, let's make sure you put the link below as well to support what he's doing here. But here's CNN. It doesn't look like they're happy for you doing their work. When they first came up to you, were they friendly? Were they nice to you? What was the approach that they took?
Yeah, the lady came up to me very friendly, and then she kept asking me these questions. I'm like, ma'am, you're defending fraud. Like, what are you talking about? Like, the issue wasn't what time I showed up to the daycare. The issue is that this building right here is receiving $1.9 million, and it's not even operating. And they're showing face right now while they're literally shuffling in kids while the Commissioner of Children is saying the daycare was closed last week.
That's pretty wild. Okay, so play this clip, Rob. Go ahead.
From CNN, can we talk to you? This is MAGA YouTuber Nick Shirley.
YouTuber.
Back at a daycare in Minnesota, he alleged was a fraudulent facility in a now viral video.
People are going to say this is a left or right issue, but no, fraud is fraud. And so I'm not out here trying to put a twist on things.
Shirley's viral video, released over the weekend, in which he says he's uncovering tens of millions of dollars in fraud at Minneapolis daycares run by the Somali community, was retweeted by Elon Musk and Vice President J.D. Vance. In the video, Shirley tries to open locked doors and talk to people at various daycares he claims are frauds.
Did you come during their normal operating hours when you came to visit?
I came at 11 a.m., I believe, and I also came the following day later in the day. The point of it is not whether or not I came at the right time of their operation hours. The point is that blacked out doors, they can't give you any information. You call that number, no one answers. I wasn't trying to go inside, and there should be a way for somebody to actually be able to call that number and somebody be able to answer. These aren't real businesses.
But surely you don't think a daycare should just be unlocked. You shouldn't be able to just walk into a
There
daycare.
should be a reception.
No, every daycare is locked.
Their doors are locked.
And so, okay, you bring up a fair point. Then but why can't they actually give me information how to enroll a child?
Federal law enforcement has been investigating fraud in Minnesota for several years. Both Attorney General Pam Bondi and FBI Director Kash Patel said on social media they've indicted dozens of defendants. DHS has posted multiple videos of agents they say are conducting a massive fraud investigation.
Do you think that federal law enforcement hasn't done enough? I mean, they would say, look, these fraud cases have been going on, but they've already done like 80 indictments. The cases have been going on.
So funny. They're defending
for
Trump
years.
And why did I show up one day in Minnesota and go to all these daycares, no children, they're receiving millions of dollars. We uncovered nearly $110 million in fraud in one day.
How do you know that all the allegations that you're making are true?
How do I know that they're true? Well, we showed you guys what was happening, and then you guys can go ahead and make your own analysis.
We're coming so we can make our own
Very
analysis.
fair.
Are you 100% sure you're true?
Yeah, I am 100% sure I'm true.
CNN is looking into Shirley's claims.
Hi, my name's Whitney Wild. I'm a correspondent for CNN.
We reached out to several of the daycares featured in the now viral video. Only one daycare facility answered and said they are
She's
a legitimate
validating your
business.
point.
Have you seen the videos, purporting that some of these daycares don't have kids inside?
Minnesota Republicans say despite the new focus from the Trump administration, they have been sounding the alarm on fraud for years.
We have talked about fraud. We have gotten stories. We've tried to push this forward every way that we
You can
can.
pause it
At
right
the
there. So this is yesterday in Minnesota.
Yeah, yesterday in Minnesota.
Wow. And you went back to Minnesota because you just told me that you're working on a part 2 yourself.
Yeah, because there's a lot more fraud.
How much more did you find?
Oh, we found a lot more businesses that don't exist. There's millions of dollars. We found a lot more, we found daycares with more $1 million daycares. I mean, there's literally hundreds of daycares receiving millions of dollars in Minnesota at this moment as we speak.
So from the first one, you guys were over $100 million of fraud that you found, right?
Mm-hmm.
With the second one, now the recent one that you were there yesterday, how much more did you guys find yesterday?
I have to do all the numbers, which I'll do when I do all my editing, but at least another $10 million.
Another $10 million bucks. Okay, so on the other side, while you're doing this, what caused you? And we see this man named David, right? We keep seeing this man named David, who I think yesterday he said, if you want to, I'll put $100,000 for anybody that can prove any of this wrong because this is government document. How did you and David? Rob, is this the clip where he says that?
Yep.
Do you want to play this clip of David?
No, don't call any parents. Anybody want to take me up? You $100,000 if you can.
$100,000.
You can disprove my information.
Okay, so give me a copy of what you have, and I can
If you can
and I
disprove my information.
100,000.
Give it here.
100,000. 100,000. 100,000.
Page by
Keep
page.
going page by page. Keep going. Come on, girl. Just keep your
on,
video
let's
on
go.
it
Okay.
and just screenshot it while you're going.
Let me know when you got it.
All those people out there defending the fraud, and then he gives them the option.
They're defending the fraud.
Yes.
They're not on your side.
No,
How many of those people are on your side right there?
none of those people you're hearing in the background.
Just you and David and the camera guy.
Just me and Dave. Yeah, I was my cameraman.
So who's recording you there?
That's somebody doing a live stream. That's
From them. That's not even yours. That's that Kadra Abshir that's recording you.
yes.
Got it. So they're recording you, and he's offering $100,000 to go prove if any of these things are wrong.
Yes.
So how did you and David get linked up?
David messaged me on Instagram, and out of the hundreds of DMs I get, I just opened David's, and he had all the proof. Because I've known about the fraud happening for so long in Minnesota, since back in June. I've known about the fraud, but it's hard for me to go out and get all the information because they make it very hard to get the information. Luckily, David had somebody inside the Capitol who's been leaking him all the numbers, leaking him all the information.
Somebody from the Capitol.
Yes.
In Minnesota.
Yes. So all the numbers that David has are 100% correct, and also they're on the state. Also, they're from the government, from the state. But David told me he knew the numbers, and I said, okay, I'm coming to Minnesota. Let's do this video. Line out some of the daycares you'd like to go see, because I know about the fraud. I knew that the fraud was happening. I just needed somebody like David to come that's lived it, to be able to really solidify my claims and my ideas about the fraud that's happening. And you saw the video. Everything we said was true.
And this is David explaining the fraud, right, Rob? This is in front of Minnesota. Go for it.
Massive fraud is going on here in the state of Minnesota, especially in Minneapolis. Explain to me what's going on with the daycares.
So one of the things that I've noticed is there's an exceptional number of child care centers that are set up mostly in Minneapolis, but also in St. Paul. And I said, wow, how many kids are there in the Twin Cities? Some of them are by my office, and I would watch, and I said, well, there aren't any kids there. And I'd go to another one, there aren't any kids there, and I'd see just some Somali guys outside smoking cigarettes. So I stopped at one of them, and I said, hey, I'm just wondering, I've got a grandson who's looking for childcare, and I wonder if this might be a good facility. And they said, no, we're all full. And they had the door open, and I looked, and there were no kids. There was like a couch and a table with a couple chairs. And I said, well, are the kids out back playing, or what kind of place is this? And the guy said, you go. And he almost pushed me out the door, and then he followed me down the street to my car. And that's when I said, wait a minute, there's some going on here, and that's got to be maybe 5 years ago. This fraud is so massive. When the dust settles on this, it's going to be found to be the largest fraud in the history of the country and probably the world. It's that big.
You can pause
the ones
right
that
there. Is that true? That genetics is that's genetics right there? Is that mom?
Yes, that's my
Good.
mom.
So now, good for you. You got great genes. You know, she's very comfortable doing this as well. Very cool. So the largest fraud in the world, in America, on what he's talking about. I hope we get to the bottom of this. So you and David get linked up, and then you just said, why don't we just go interview? That's kind of how it started.
Yeah, I thought when we go, like, we'll walk to these daycares, we'll talk to them. But the first daycare we go to, all the windows are blacked out. And I tried to open the door and nobody answered. I ring the doorbell, nobody answered. And that daycare, they had 2 daycares running out of that same building, and they had two different contracts of more than $1 million for these daycares. And I was very shocked to see that the response from the public after that was, oh, why is he going and knocking on these doors? Because millions of dollars are going there. We have a responsibility to know where our dollars are going. But it just went to show that the fraud is insane. And then the people are saying, well, that daycare is closed. Well, how come there's a sign that says it's open 7 days a week from 7 a.m. to 10 p.m.?
Is that what it says?
Yeah.
So the one that the CNN reporter claimed that you came after business hours, that you said you came at 11 to 5 o'clock, they have a sign that says they're open Monday through Sunday?
That one right there, the first part in the video.
Open 7 days a week. What is it? Zoom in a little bit, Rob?
I can't because it's a video, but it says open 7 days a week, 7 a.m. to 10 p.m.
It says that right on the sign.
Right there, right
Got
underneath
it.
the phone number.
This is the Mako, what is it called? Mako Child Care Center?
Yeah.
Is that another misspelled Mako, or is that really the name?
I don't know, but what's funny about that is there's actually 2 childcare companies inside that same building, but they're not showing the second one. And so they have 2 childcare businesses operating that same
Within
room.
the same place?
Yes.
And how much money are they getting?
This one together over the past few years, they have it right there. But
1.6
combined,
million?
they received over $5 million.
Stop it.
Just that one building alone.
And so what is the business model? Somebody just stays there all day, no kids, and they just take the cash?
Yeah, that's why all the windows are all boarded up, or why they're all blacked out.
Now, let me ask you, Nick. There was a video from 2019. Is it 2019, 2020? You know the video where parents would come, drop off the kids, and then take the kids out a minute later, not even drop them off. Come in, register, then they leave. You know which video I'm talking about, Rob? Yep. And allegedly, they were getting paid. That's the one right there. What year is that video from?
It says 2015, March 31st of 2015.
This is from 15
yes.
that they've been doing this. So this is a surveillance. Maybe you can narrate to the audience what's going on here.
Yeah, so basically what they're doing inside these daycares, I don't doubt that there's 1 or 2 or a few children inside these daycares. It'd be very stupid to be receiving millions of dollars and not bring at least a few kids to daycare every day, right? But what they're doing here is they're bringing in children, and then they're then just leaving after a few minutes of being inside the daycare. And I don't know if this is the same video where it shows the guy giving the cash to the ladies working.
Do you have the audio on there? So there is one that says they're showing that.
Oh, there it is.
From that same case,
He's handing the
shows
cash.
a man handing out envelopes of what are believed to be kickback payments to parents who are in on the fraud.
Where was the money going?
I don't know exactly where it went, but it...
Order for the scheme to work, the daycare center...
You got to be kidding me. So I'll come in, I register my kids, you're able to write them off to make money off them. You send that to the Minnesota government. Hey, I have this many kids. Then they get paid. Then they come and give a kickback to the parents.
Yes.
So the problem with this is these parents are no longer going to get payments, and someone's going to call somebody out. And this has been happening for over a decade. It's not like this is a new thing that's happening. How many whistleblowers have been emailing you, DMing you, texting you, getting a hold of you? How many more whistleblowers have gotten a hold of you and David?
Yes, so many people have been reaching out that it's been almost like overwhelming to go through all the messages. But the people in Minnesota are so fed up with this fraud because now finally somebody's actually getting it out to the national level, because local journalists have been talking about it for years, but they've never been able to get it out to a national level like I was able to do. And so just the millions of dollars, and if you talk about why they're just giving them cash, it's because the money they receive is tax exempt, CCAP funding,
Mm-hmm.
and then these women that are working inside these daycares,
Mm-hmm.
they're not. My assumption is that they're not actually on payroll, and that's why 81% of the Somali population is on welfare inside the state of Minnesota, is because they don't actually receive a W-2 or 1099, whatever it would be, to claim that they're actually receiving an income. Because if you're running a daycare of $1 million, you should be able to pay your person a salary of at least $50,000. You know what I mean?
But none of that is documented.
No, not that I know of. Because it doesn't make sense why there's so many people on welfare if they're making millions of dollars.
If you have any questions and you want to support the work, because you have to realize, Nick, you're not part of CBS.
No.
You're not ABC. You're not CNN. You're not Fox. You're not part of anybody. You're an independent journalist. A guy asks you a question, who do you work for? Myself. Yeah, who pays you? Myself. You make money off YouTube, don't you? Yeah, that's how I make my money. I make my money off my YouTube channel. This is what I've been doing for many years. But if some of you guys are watching this and you want to support him, either go buy this sweater that he has here, or number two, connect him if you have any other questions or things that you're working on. If you want to be in contact with him, you have other information that's coming in. Imagine he's getting tens of thousands of emails and DMs right now. He can't get through everybody. But if you have something that you want to do with him, have a conversation with him, he's officially on Connect as well. If you enjoyed this video, you want to watch more videos like this, click here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click here.